Trade union membership in Europe has fallen over the past 30 years. This is mainly because of the decline of traditional centres of union strength, especially mines, mills and large factories. But there are also cultural changes with young people, migrant workers and private service workers, in particular less likely to join trade unions. It is time for all ETUC unions to go on the offensive and prioritise a global increase in membership. Here are just a few examples of good recruitment practices in Europe aimed at these target groups. One of the most unionised countries in Europe is Sweden, which is currently seeing a drop in membership. One of the identified causes of this decline, a lack of information aimed at young people.
Många ungdomar idag känner inte till nyttan med att vara medlem i facket, vet inte vad den fackliga organisationen gör och känner inte till styrkan heller av den fackliga organisationen. Därför är det jätteviktigt för oss att finnas ute i skolorna och informera. Många ungdomar känner ju inte till sina grundläggande rättigheter som de har på arbetsmarknaden. De känner heller inte till sina skyldigheter och det resulterar i att många ungdomar utnyttjas, får alldeles för låga löner, får jobba orimligt länge och får utföra arbete som de egentligen inte får göra. Alltså farligt arbete, farliga arbetsmoment.
As the union representative of the LO, a central organisation combining 15 Swedish unions, Jerry Abdo's job is to fill this information gap among secondary school children in the Stockholm area.
Nu står vi här ute i Bromma i en förort till Stockholm och vi ska snart gå in här på Sankt Jacobi gymnasium för att träffa en årskurs 1 på gymnasieskolan och informera dem om fackliga rättigheter och skyldigheter på arbetsmarknaden.
With a total of 189 secondary schools for 20,000 students, Jerry Abdo's role is of major importance. During the information sessions, students establish an initial contact with a union organisation and receive, in a very pertinent and fun way, a whole mass of information which is important for their professional future.
Jo, för att jag inte ska bli lurad. Jag sa att det var bra att bli medlem därför att man blir informerad om vad man ska göra och vad man ska ta sig till om man då hamnar i någon knipa man inte kommer undan. Eller ja, något sånt. Ja.
Ja, självklart. För varför skulle jag inte vara det? Det skulle bara vara dumt. För man vill ju ha hjälp när man behöver. Och nu när jag har information om det och vet mycket mer om det så tycker jag att det är jättebra att veta att man kan få hjälp och att man kan få chans till schyssta arbetsvillkor.
In terms of recruiting members, an initiative like this is the very first step in a long process of help and support.
Det här är första kontakten med en facklig organisation och redan i skolan under vår information så lägger vi grunden till ett framtida fackligt medlemskap. Det här knyter vi sedan samman när vi träffar samma ungdomar ute på sina första jobb, på sommarjobbet eller på praktiken och så vidare. Och där fortsätter vi bygga grunden till ett framtida medlemskap.
Just like young people in Sweden, migrant workers need special attention. As many immigrants are employed as manual workers, they need special attention from the unions. The priority is to stop them being exploited.
There is exploitation, not just outside of the EU, but inside the EU. And wherever there is exploitation, there is a big, powerful role for trade unions.
At the GMB's regional office for migrant workers near Southampton, Alan Fraser tells us about a particularly flagrant case of anti-union practice concerning a female Polish worker at a local company.
One of our members distributed union literature inside the factory, and we later found out that she'd been sacked for doing that.
It was a strategic error on the part of this company employing more than 200 workers of 24 different nationalities, because the sacked worker was reinstated 48 hours later.
I Ola po prostu połączyła się z związkami, z szefostwem i w ciągu 2 dni przeprosili mnie i mam wrócić do pracy. Taka osoba ma wrócić z powrotem do pracy. Jestem bardzo mile widziana, mój szef tak powiedział, jestem bardzo mile widziana w pracy.
Even more importantly, the number of union members at the factory now is more than 50%. If a dialogue has already been established between the union and the management, the road ahead is still a long one because we aren't allowed into the factory to meet the workers. As part of its ongoing struggle for proper conditions for migrant workers, information is published in numerous languages. The GMB focuses mainly on training organisers who come directly from the migrant worker communities, seeing this as the real key to a dialogue with them.
Kiedy stałyśmy z koleżanką przy jednej linii, ramię w ramię, pomyślałyśmy sobie, że wyzyskiwanie przez pracodawcę może się skończyć, gdyby były związki zawodowe na terenie zakładu.
And clearly, this initiative bore fruit from a recruitment standpoint.
And that enabled us, almost within a few years, to recruit thousands and thousands of workers in parts of the UK that previously had been shut off from us, or more importantly, we had shut them off because we had not been able to reach out to them. And I think that experience has really given us an insight in how to adapt to the changes inside the migrant movements inside the EU.
London, the capital of England and the world's leading international finance centre, has a cosmopolitan population busy building prosperous businesses. But within these immense glass, steel and concrete structures, injustice can also take on a whole different aspect.
It is nothing short of obscene that if you go to the City of London, the most successful financial centre in Europe, just before Christmas, there was £8.8 billion paid out in bonuses to a few thousand people. And yet the cleaners in the City of London, when we started our organising campaign, they were on the national minimum wage, no sick pay, basic statutory holiday entitlement, no pension.
Mainly migrant workers, these cleaners are clearly exploited by the contracting companies who employ them. Faced with this situation, the Transport and General Workers Union decided to take action and even to force dialogue with employers if they tried to block it.
This is a demonstration about the poor pay, disgraceful pay of cleaners in London. If you look around here, there's people going for lunch who are going to pay more for their lunch today than cleaners who work hard, earn in a week to feed their family and house them, and that's an absolute disgrace.
The workload is very hard, and there is no respect and dignity in the working place.
Respect and dignity which is denied to this cleaner from Africa even outside the building where he works. He was prevented from talking to us on camera. In the early evening, the T&G organisers' action continues. Their goal is to pass information to the maximum number of cleaners and recruit new members. What's special about them is their multilingualism.
My name is Benedita Gonçalves, I'm from Portugal.
My name is João Zaidi, I'm from Angola.
Most of the cleaners in this city are not English. They don't speak English.
That's important that trade union T&G they are organizing for different countries, different language speakers to make the communication
and to get
more
the message
fluent.
through.
The T&G has understood that to reach migrant workers, you first have to know their language and culture.